Roblox is a platform created by David Baszucki, which the first idea came around in the late 80s, something called interactive physics, which fundamentally is one of the earliest examples of a realistic physics engine made for a game. To us nowadays, it's not much, but this was a huge advancement in the 80s. Interactive physics was sold off for $20 million, but adjusted for inflation is $78 million. So, with this extra pocket money David got, he started working on something called GoBlocks. Well, no, Dynablocks. Wait. No, it's Roblox. In 1997, the production of Roblox's first ever assets, such as the iconic sword, was created. But how does this all tie into the military? Oh, and by the way, subscribe or you'll get 2 weeks of constant rain. In the late noughties, Roblox grew significantly due to the successful ad campaigns that they launched, with many sub-communities and genres were born. Probably the most largest category during Roblox's creation would be roleplay. The majority of role-playing games consist of cosplay in an unrealistic background. Younger children tend to play these type of games, but then there is a much more realistic approach to role-playing, called live-action-roleplay, or LARP for short. LARP games tend to be on a much more strict background. You'd often see this in cafe games or policing games, but the most popular would be military simulation, or MilSim for short. Over 100,000 users on Roblox play these MilSim games, which are pseudo-military games that aren't in collaboration with real military organizations. Now, these MilSim games aren't always guns blazing. They like to put on shows, displays, rallies, and exercises which aim to replicate the perfection that the soldiers perform in real life. Additionally, MilSim games replicate real units. For example, in a MilSim game called the British Army, they have a number of units called regiments, just like it is in real life. One of these is called the Royal Military Police, which also exists in real life. Within these games, players can try out for these regiments to pick one they like the most. Now, these silly little block games don't look that great. The technology is nowhere near as good as the other games you'd see, but that's because it's pretty much built by a really small team of people, or it's got a really small budget by just one person. By the way, if you want to join my Discord server where we do really cool stuff such as like recording together, you may as well just join. It's in the link in the description down below. Often you'd see these MilSim games fight against other MilSim games. This is called group versus group battles. They replicate battles that actually happened in history, but if they're not battling with each other, these groups tend to put on different activities for their members to do. As I've mentioned before, performances and rallies, but often physical trainings, practice operations, breaching trainings, helicopter flying, tank driving, and a lot more. Primarily in European, or more so British communities, these members often also partake in organizations called army cadets.
That was abysmal. Remember, when you're bringing your leg up, don't like bend down into it as you bring it up, because you just look really retarded doing that.
Or if you're in America, JROTC.
I deserve a salute! You can get louder than that right now.
These organizations are sponsored by the parent organization, the actual army, where it teaches children realistic but not as intensive stuff about what happens in the military, like fieldcraft for an example. With this, these kids take back the experience they gain from these organizations, which eventually gets adopted into these Roblox groups, further making the MilSim experience even more realistic. Because of all of this going on, the British Army started to campaign for binge gamers, but more specifically, MilSim players to trying to get them to join the army.
It's not really changed over the centuries. It's the same sort of thing. It's the potential that that individual has. The kit that's developing now is very tech heavy, to the point that you've almost got a gaming handset within the Challenger 2 tank. So we need to gain recruits who understand the workings of technical ideas.
So even if your parents think you're completely useless, at least the army thinks you have a chance at being employed. Now, the idea that the army had is to convert these useless skills into well-thought strategies that can be used in a real war zone, which is already being done right now. In the war in Ukraine, they've recruited MilSim players to fly drones. But what makes it even more funnier is that they're doing these operations on Discord as well. It makes them feel like they're at home whilst they are literally terrorizing Russians. But that isn't it. In Challenger 2 tanks, people describe them as playing them on a controller, whereas people who literally LARP in Roblox are already quite fluent in this type of stuff. Breach trainings are directly based from the army. They use the same tactics. So when this unemployed buffoon that used to play Roblox goes into the army, he already knows how to do quite a lot of stuff that other people that are training alongside him to be a soldier does not. Sometimes people take this way too seriously though. So here's me annoying everyone in the server. Please come to airfield. Need help.
Please, I need help at airfield. And then we just drive away. As soon as all of them come in, we just drive away.
Yeah. Drive away. Drive away.
You're more are coming. Yo, dodge their. Yo,